Okay guys, so I did my prep work for our paint and we're ready to go. This is what I did. I used my filler primer to pretty much, prime it up, sand it, find errors, find any big mistakes and take care of it with that. Once it was all said and done, I used primer sealer. I let that dry overnight and the next day I did my gloss white. So it's got a really nice gloss white all over the pieces for nice protecting, and plus I kind of want that little bit of a sheen, but I don't really know where I'm going with this, and I don't have a formula that's saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging this, and I'm going to have fun with it. I had the idea in my head. It's a matter of how do I get to it. So, as you can see, I got a couple colors here that I might be using, and we'll get a little bit closer. So I got, opaque white from Createx. I got some Liquitex here, interference blue. I got Garage Kits iridescent blue, and I have a flat top coat from Garage Kits as well. Now, I'm going to just kind of throw all these colors on there. I'm going to see what I come up with. I might even, for fun, I might even throw some Alclad in there. I don't know yet. It's like, I got the idea in my head what I want, but I don't know how to get to it yet. It's kind of a experiment, and this is the fun about the hobby, is just experimenting and coming up with different ideas and seeing what paints do to what. And since it's like a personal project and I'm not doing it for anybody, I can have more fun with it. And I could see, like, if there's an error, I could always sand it back down and then start from scratch, or I could just prime over it. I don't want that silky smooth gloss coat all over the piece. I kind of want to give it like a dusty look too as well. So I might, do some spritz far away to get some dust on the pieces, and just gonna kind of have fun with it. So we'll be doing like a fast video on it, just giving you guys an idea. I'll explain maybe when I start changing stuff up between the fast videos. Like I said, it's kind of a whole experiment, and I'm just gonna have fun with it. It's of course, everybody's idea of Superman's Fortress of Solitude is different. Some people might think it's all crystals. I'm thinking more it's like, frosted white blocks, and just gonna run with it. So we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna start throwing some color on. We'll go from there. Alright, so I did let's see, we did the iridescent blue. Really wasn't getting to where I wanted it to be. Wasn't really giving me that sheen, but the interference one was. It's actually going to where I want it to be, but it's still quite not there. So I did hit it with Alclad Chrome. It wasn't really doing anything much. I don't think I'm going to whiten it down at all. I think I'm just going to keep going with the interference. Then I think I'm going to gloss coat it. Then I'm going to interference it again, and then I'm going to gloss coat it again, and then dull it down. I think by trying to do a couple layers, thin layer type stuff, it might give me some kind of like a glowing effect. Because I'm almost getting a glowing effect on here. It might not show up in camera, but I'm starting to get these little steps kind of reacting to that thing, and it's like it's giving a little cool effect. So we're going to see what happens. I'm just having fun with it. Okay guys, so I was just in the garage and I gloss coated it, and this base came out pretty fine. I like the way where it's at. I might dull it down a little bit, or I might just leave it as is. I think I got it to where I want it, where it's kind of like, it's got that glow to it in certain lights and angles, and it's protected. But we had a little problem with this base, and this happens whenever I'm testing new things. We had some textures, it's probably not showing up too well in the camera, but there were some mess ups on the bottom here. And then some mess ups around here. You might see a little bit better over here. It seems as though the clear coat reacted to something. I don't know exactly where. But I can utilize this for, as you can see in some spots, it kind of reacted. So it's kind of a learning process that interference spraying very heavy on a gloss coat with some other colors that I probably threw in had a reacting effect. but it's not a lost cause because I can still utilize what I'm doing here. It's not like, okay, it's over and done with, I have to start from scratch. I actually like the cracks and effects that came on here. Like, these all sand down a little bit more, but the little bit of roughage that's on this side actually adds some life to the piece, which I like. You know, sometimes I learned in art school is from some of my elective professors that you would only have for one semester and never see them again. These guys would say, like, you know, sometimes a mistake can actually make the piece amazing and you didn't mean to do it, but it happened and it works to your benefit. So in this case, I like what's going on with the mistakes that are over here. It's a little bit roughage, and I'm going to leave it because I think it looks pretty cool. Maybe up here I'll sand a little bit, but the one down here I'll probably fix a little bit. But, you know, it's working. You know, it's just a matter of kind of toying with it and experimenting and trying different paints. So now I know if I ever go this process again on something that I really need super clean that I got to be careful with, I know not to do that clear coating and it'll react. But in this case, I'm having fun with it and just keep building up and just seeing what happens. So I'm going to sand this one down a little bit, but I'm going to blow dry it a little bit first and then come back and add some more colors and see what happens. Alright, so the bottom of the base, I added some of this Metallica Auto Air Blue Silver that I have, and I just wanted to give a little bit of a darkness down here and make sure that these are kind of bright, so I don't want you focusing, you know, I want the eyes going down here, I want to keep it up here, so just kind of dulled it down a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just kind of mist some white speckling all over the piece, so I'm just going to take flat white. And I have my Badger 360 airbrush, which is really, like, it sprays really thick, and this is great for just throwing some paint into the cup and just kind of like letting the paint just speckle down and everything. So I'm going to kind of bring the camera back a little bit and do that and just kind of get all around it and like give it some speckling, some flat stuff, just to give it a little bit more life, because right now it's kind of just like it's there but it's not there the way I want it. So like I said, it's all experimenting and building it up and just kind of getting to the point where it might look cool and it might not. I don't know. So just having fun. Alright guys, I think I'm about done. I was in the garage, I did some misting of the clear coat, not close but far away, just so the misting protects it, but it also gives it a graininess, and that's what I wanted. I wanted it grainy. And I like the idea that some errors happened on it because I didn't want this to be perfect. I didn't want to be perfect blocks, perfect, you know, I wanted things to look like, you know, it's definitely like pillars of frost came up, like, you know, in Superman the movie, where everything just kind of crashes together and it's just not perfect and it's frosty, because, you know, I mean, if you're in the Arctic, nothing's going to look perfect like, you know, like an anime resin kit or, you know, like a PVC type of anime thing. It's going to kind of have a little bit more life to it. So like I said, there's errors here and there. The paint cracked up some places and then I clear coated it again, and I think it all worked out pretty well. And I like that, you know, some of it has some rough texture here and there because I did some of that misting and it gives it that frostiness. So I think I'm happy with what it's at. Alright guys, so what I did is I mixed up some Aves Fix-It, and it's the white Aves Fix-It, and I smushed it in to each of the holes, and I put the crystals in that way. I can't use the red Aves or the black Aves because it'll react to the crystals and it'll come up, and we don't want that. But I also didn't want to use glue because sometimes glue actually reacts to clears and some paints, and it could actually cloud up because they're not. It's not like gluing a resin kit together and then seaming it around and then painting it. It's actually putting a finished piece into something that glue can actually give a cloudiness because the fumes are going to be coming upwards. They're not going to be going out the side, or it's not going to be held upside down. So if the fumes are coming up, it might react to the clears, and we don't want that. So I figured A's would be the best way. But I'm happy with the way it came out. Hopefully it gives you guys some ideas if you ever wanted to make a custom base, or how to make a custom base, or just kind of have some fun with, a statue you're working on. And, this piece, connects. It's pretty solid here. I put little felt pieces underneath both of the bases. As you can see, it kind of connects on, and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to do a final video with the custom Wonder Woman, and you guys can check that out. But hopefully you guys like this work in progress. Gives you guys some ideas, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back with more videos.